Mark Pantoni, I'm sorry that I doubted you. You got a guy who went to 4 different schools in 4 years. That's a guy who's clearly going to be a number 1 starter on this team. You got a guy in Dominic Kelly who played 61 snaps in an SEC that couldn't find any defense this year. Yeah, I'm sure he'll come in and be awesome for this team. Do you want me to do this, Dylan?
Yes.
No. What I'm saying is I hope these guys take steps because they're going to need to improve to hold up the standard that we had here this year. You just had a historic defense at Ohio State. Historic. One of the best we've ever seen in this, obviously this university, but maybe in college football history that you had here. And that team didn't get the job done because the offense couldn't live up to expectations. They couldn't win the battle in the trenches. So next year, this defense, if it's not historic, it better be vastly improved. And Tyvis has brought this up, and he's spot on. Better be vastly improved in the trenches, and the offense better be vastly improved from where it was last year.
I was scrolling Twitter yesterday, and I found out that the Buckeyes have gotten some commitments out of the portal, and they've got some people that decided to run it back. The guys that they got out of the portal is some corner depth. That's a position that a lot of people have been on the fence about. It's like, okay, we got the kicker, we got a couple players in the trenches, but we have lost all our depth at corner. Well, they ended up getting 2 guys out of the portal, Cam Calhoun, who he's bounced around. He started off with the Wolverines, then he went to Utah, then he went to Bama, and now he's with the Buckeyes.
That man is a tourist.
Yeah, he is. I looked up his highlights, though. He's a good player. He's a pretty good player. And then the other guy that they got was Dominic Kelly. He was a true freshman last year for Georgia. He just transferred to Ohio State. This will be his second year. He played like 10 games, I believe he appeared in last year. He's still young. The thing about this, when you get a guy out of the SEC, the last time they did this was IGB, Davidson Igbinosun. And what's funny about IGB is, so when it popped up that they're getting IGB from Ole Miss, I'm like, okay, whatever, debt piece. IGB said, no, ain't no debt piece. I'm not only coming to be a starting corner, I'm coming to be the number 1 corner. And IGB changed the entire mindset of everybody on that defense because he was just this huge competitor. He was this big trash talker. Every time you make a play, you see him just going ranting on no. I can't believe you tried me, seatbelt, all that stuff. He's a huge. What he did was he turned everybody else up on defense, and it was like, because at that time Denzel Burke was supposed to be the guy, and he came in and said, "I don't care who the guy is, I'm the guy," and it just started this competition. So I'm hoping that we get that same mindset out of these 2 guys out of the portal, just because they are viewed as depth pieces. If they come in with the right mentality, I think Jermaine got his spot pretty much solidified. Everything else is open. I think 2 people got their spots, Jalen McClain and Jermaine Matthews. I think those 2 guys are pretty locked in. The rest of the 3 spots that's in the secondary is wide open for business. And I think that if these guys come in with the right mindset, they can take over.
I'd love that. If that happens, that'd be great. And obviously the depth is important because you lost a lot of depth with 30 guys hitting the portal, right? And a decent amount of that was in that, secondary. So, yeah, it's good to see that they've definitely attacked getting depth there.
Yeah.
Question's always going to be with this defense next year. You had, how many NFL starters, or not NFL starters, but NFL
defense
draft picks that are leaving this team?
8 guys?
Yeah, but
or 7.
You probably have off of this Ohio State team, you probably have 5 that are first rounders. Not just on the defense. I'm saying on the team in general, right? Like, you're losing a lot of guys off this defense.
7. You're losing 7 people.
All right, so you got to replace not just depth, you got to replace the top end talent, and hopefully some of the guys who are still here step up.
Yeah.
Then you also have guys like, who are coming back, like Jermaine Matthews, who announced that yesterday, and Kenyatta Jackson on the defensive line, which
they found them some money.
You need to, because, you need edge rushers if you're going to make something happen here. And that's, he's got to take another step. But, yes, that's good to see that they kept those guys.
Can we get an apology from the lunatic fringe yet about the transfer portal? Apology to Mark Pantoni and Ryan Day and crew. I feel like within the first 48 hours of the portal, the lunatic fringe was freaking out about the lack of talent that Ohio State was acquiring in the transfer portal.
You don't really want me to do this, do you?
I do.
You really want me to do
I do.
Really want
I
me
do want you to
I'm
do
trying to be nice.
I do want you to
glass half full.
No.
And okay,
No, I want the real you.
Mark Pantoni, I'm sorry that I doubted you. You got a guy who went to 4 different schools in 4 years. That's a guy who's clearly going to be a number 1 starter on this team. You got a guy in Dominic Kelly who played 61 snaps in an SEC that couldn't find any defense this year. Yeah, I'm sure he'll come in and be awesome for this team. Do you want me to do this, Dylan?
Yes.
No. What I'm saying is I hope these guys take steps because they're going to need to improve to hold up the standard that we had here this year. You just had a historic defense at Ohio State. Historic. One of the best we've ever seen in this, obviously this university, but maybe in college football history that you had here. And that team didn't get the job done because the offense couldn't live up to expectations. They couldn't win the battle in the trenches. So next year, this defense, if it's not historic, it better be vastly improved. And Tyvis has brought this up, and he's spot on. Better be vastly improved in the trenches, and the offense better be vastly improved from where it was last year. Because if this defense is just like a normally good Ohio State defense, which will still be a top 10 defense, we hope, and a top 3 in the Big Ten type of defense, then they can still do a lot of things. I'm not down on that, but the idea that they're going to replace first-round talent guys with dudes who didn't play as much or aren't as good or are coming off of major knee injuries, that's a big coin flip, is all I'm saying. It's not a certainty next year.
Did we not have this conversation 11 months ago when they were coming off a national championship with the number 1 defense in the country? Did you ever think that the defense was going to get better than that?
We did. And the additions they made in the portal were not the reason that defense was good. The reason that defense was good last year was because they retained all these sophomores who said, and freshmen who said, I want to come back. Juniors, I want to come back and add to this. Guys that obviously Caleb Downs couldn't go anywhere other than transfer out, but he wanted to be here. But he couldn't go to the NFL draft. You had an All-American at safety. You had an All-American defensive tackle. You had 2 All-American level talents at linebacker. All of that's walked out the door. And I'm not, again, hopefully these guys are good. I'm just saying they don't have the track record yet to prove it.
Based off the coaching staff has the track record, based off of the past 2 years, don't you think they deserve the benefit of the doubt that they're going to have the defense ready next year, just like they did the past 2 seasons, especially after this year where we thought they were losing all this talent to the NFL after the national championship year, and then they found a way to be better on defense the next year? Don't they deserve the benefit of the doubt?
I spent a lot of time being negative. I thought I was going to be nice today. I'm just saying, yeah, this coaching staff deserves the benefit of the doubt for a transfer portal last year that had 11 guys in it, and 9 of them sucked. And by the way, half those guys are coming back this year to try to re-up with, like, Bo Atkinson's a guy that didn't hit last year. Hopefully this year he will. But, like, yeah, I have my doubts about this portal because they're 50% on the portal. 2 years ago, awesome. Last year, not so much. So hopefully they right the ship this year and all these guys hit and they're all awesome. I hope. And I'm trying to be optimistic. Is that what you want? I'm trying to be nice. But no, I'm not giving them the, like, oh yeah, just crown them national championship.
People in the chat want to know, like, you talk all this crap about the SEC, but the SEC players is what's helping the Buckeyes succeed.